Hello guys, so today, because a few weeks ago, Gennai X is back to the game, but it's not in a really easy way, you know? So I want to talk and review about the 22 limited Digimons possible that you can get from Gennai X and how possibly they can be worth your money or not. Okay, so we have a list of 22 of them. I'll show you here. Okay, and we'll talk about it one by one. Okay, so bear with me and we'll see how much potential that you can get from this Gennai box. Okay, so first let's go to Rosemon X. Okay, which is this. Okay, so what do Rosemon X have to offer? Okay, so we go here. It's data. Okay, electric and wood. That's pretty rare. Right, the scale. Now, 1 unit each of them, melee and range, just like Gankoomon Crimson mode. 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, pretty decent. Alright, so Rose and Blood. For all attacks, 5% damage for enemy Digimon. So the more Digimon you fight, the more power it has. Okay, during battle, adds the wood attribute to an all allied Digimon or play nesting if you already have it. So it's literally adding wood attribute to all of the party members if you're in a party. Or if you recall a Digimon, that Digimon also have wood attribute, right? What's good from it? You know, if you see here, wood strong against war and weak against ice. That means like if you're fighting a war element Digimon, you will get additional attribute damage from it just by Rosemon being there in the party. Is it worth it? I don't think so, to be honest, considering the price that you need to get the Gennai box. You don't want to get this, unfortunately, but as it is, it could be support most of the time. It doesn't deal that much damage as compared to the other options. So that's it, alright. Now we move on, okay? After Rosemon, we get Dynasmon X. So let's go to Dynasmon. Okay, cool looking dude. Alright, so this is Dynasmon X, okay? Element attribute win, alright? 3, 4, 1, 2, the same stats, okay? And it only has one, which is energy of a Wyvern. For all attacks, 100% change to increase damage 0.1%, equal to the number of used cards last consumed. So that means it gets stronger as the battle goes. If it's a long battle, then it's probably worth it. But at some point, if you ran out of slashes, you get raw power with no slashes. I don't see it being like decent at all, because it takes too many turns to actually get your crowd slash down, right? And also at the start of the turn, you can get like 3%, let's say, right? 3 cards maximum use. If you use haste, then probably you can get like 6% damage, but that's with haste. So you need like what? 3 turns for 18%. That takes too long, and at some point in the dungeon you don't really need that much turn, mainly if you're playing in a party, so that's why it's kinda fell down here. If it's a bit bigger, like let's say 3%, 4%, I think it could be really good, especially in Fury kind of build, and then like on the Darkness Dungeon Heart, then it could be really good. But because the percentage is too low and it's the only exclusive trait that it has, I don't think it's worth your money, unfortunately. Okay, so let's go to the next one. We're gonna talk about Ulforce. Okay, okay, Draemon X. Alright, this dude looking a bit chubby here. Okay, so it's Wind and Light. Okay, Wind and Light. 04501. This is a really rare Digimon to have like 5 agility. Okay, it's pretty squishy because it doesn't have any constitution there. Okay, so Ulforce, for all attacks, 25% chance to recover 100% of TP of all party members, including yourself, and 100 of own HP. I think it heals, right? So if you attack, there's 25% chance to all your party members get their TP recovered. What's TP? TP is the turn points or turn gauge that you see in the battle before you take turns, right? It loads there, so it helps you to recover it, but with 25% chance of every attack though. No matter how high his agility is, I don't think he's gonna move that fast. Except you're using haste to increase the chances though, but the 100 HP? It's 25% chance and it only heals 100, so it doesn't really matter at some point. Okay, so Swift Speed for all attack increase damage by 2.5% for each allied Digimon on the field. So maximum in the party, you get 5 members, so 2.5 times 5, you only get like 12.5%. It's not good enough. Unfortunately, you want at least like 20%, right? So like at least 4% or 5%, that could be really good. But other than that, I don't think it works. It's unfortunate. Design wise pretty good. Build, I mean the stats is also pretty decent, but unfortunate that exclusive trait doesn't do him justice, so I think it's still not worth your money, unfortunately. Okay, so we're gonna go next, which is Magnamon X, so another free one. Right? This guy. This is it. Gonna go here. Detail. So it's Almond Light, right? Okay, and then Georgie Hot. Okay. So the build 4321. Yeah? 1321. Get ready, get started. It's like a countdown. 4321. Okay, so it has 2 Power Miracles for all attacks, 65% chance to increase damage by 23%. It's actually pretty decent, but unfortunately it's not as consistent because it's 65% chance. Even if you pair it with Bellow from Daemon or Molomir, this one, whatever you want to call it, all you get is 10%, so 75%. It's decent enough, but not good enough, unfortunately, because of the inconsistency, right? Okay, so we go to the next one, Gold Digizoid. When defending, 20% chance to take 1 damage. So this is a niche that is pretty good. But from Power of Miracles, you want to build it as DPS, right? But with this Gold Digizoid, you want to build it as a tank. To be honest with you, I don't see where you're gonna get it to this kind of tank build, because it's only 20% chance. It's even lower than Power of Miracles. If it's 100% chance, like let's say it works like haste, right? So the first, like on the odd turns, it will take like 1 damage. That will be pretty good. I could see that being useful, but unfortunately I don't see it being good enough, considering that it has 2 defensive traits as well, which is really good. Unfortunately, the Gold Digizoid doesn't do him justice, but it really has potential with a little bit of trait, in my opinion. So unfortunately, this one is not worth your money as well. In my opinion, okay? Please keep in mind this is my opinion. I just want to make sure that I do it subjectively. So any perspective can be different. So please be wise on it. Do not take my word for granted. You have your own opinion as well, and there's nothing right or wrong. Okay, so we're gonna jump to the next one, Craniummon. Okay, this is I'm sorry, but this guy, despite of his coolness, okay, so okay, let's talk about it, okay. Craniummon X, still attribute 4240, which is not looking good. Okay, so next, it has 2 defensive traits as well, just like the Magnamon X. Okay, so it has 3 exclusive characteristics. Okay, so first, Magic Shield Avalon. When defending against a multi-target attacks, which is AoE, 50% chance to decrease the damage of all allies by 50% and take them instead. What does that mean? It cannot avoid, cannot dodge, it can take everything but reduce by 50%. Okay, I don't see it being decreased for himself. So let's say if you get hit by AoE, normally you get like the total damage and then divide it by 5. Let's say if you're in a full party, right? And then let's say it's 2000 damage. Okay, divide it by 5, each of them will take 400 damage. With this, when it procs though, because it's only 50% chance, right? When it procs, every ally, so 4 of them, right? 4 of them from 400% reduced by 50%, which is 200 damage. Either done for himself, let's say if it's not for himself, then 400 plus 800, right? 1.2k damage. But if it's also included himself, then everything will be only 1000 damage, but he cannot dodge it. So you're gonna take it to the face, you know, like a champion, but 50% chance. Alright. So next is Kyoku Senjuken? Okay. For all attacks, 30% chance to increase damage by 5% until 10%. Not just that, if you hit a jackpot, you get 10%. It's already low enough. Okay? It works only 30% chance, it's not even 100%. So, look, Craniummon X. Okay? You're. Oh my god, you're made as a joke in this game. Thank you, developers. Thank you, game designers. Please consider this, okay? This is pretty stupid. Okay? Have mercy on Craniummon X. I don't know if you guys do it personally, but really. Okay, next, Black Digizoid. When defending, 25% chance to increase defense by 10%. That means this Magic Shield F1 can proc, and then you can proc Black Digizoid, and then you can proc. Where's the AoE? This one? This one. Either way, right? Either way. It can increase their defense. Okay. Hey, Forrest, but it does look like it's a good thing. It is when it's able to dodge. Okay, guys? If it takes it to the face, it's not good. Even though it, considering you put like Holy 7 different plugin C, right? It still doesn't worth it, you know? Because it cannot dodge. I know the constitution is 4, it doesn't have intelligence and such. So proccing Meteor Wall and Wall of Wind is a drag already, okay? And then all of them are by chance. They're not 100% chance, they're 50% chance, they're 25% chance, and this is 30% chance. So as a DPS, it's not good enough. As a tanker, it cannot dodge. Why dodge is so important in a tank? Because Dodge means you save card slashes. Okay, and it's important in the dungeon or late game dungeon. Something like that. So Craniummon X is unfortunately, in my opinion, still does not worth it. Okay. Next, we're gonna go to Lordknightmon X. Lord. There you go. Just okay. Lordknightmon X. Okay, it's still in win and normal, right? Win and normal. And then was AoE 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I think it's the same as Dynasmon X. Okay, so double attack and melee. So quests are also 1. For all attacks, damage increased by sum of Lordknightmon's quest reinforcement values times 1.5%. What does that mean? So we got 3 slot of quests, right? So if you put 3 Lordknightmon quests there, the sum value will be total or summed, right? So let's say you have like Lordknightmon quest plus 5 set. Okay, so what does that mean? Is you're gonna sum all of them first. So 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15, right? And then the reinforcement values times 1.5%. So 15 times 1.5%. So you got around 16.5%, I think, right? That means you get that bonus of the attack with plus 5 cent. Okay, if it gets higher, maximum at plus 10, 3% times 1.5, you get 45% for all attacks. Okay, that's really impressive. Next is quests are also 2. When defending, you increase damage received by some of Lordknightmon's quest reinforcement values times 0.5%. So instead, it's half. So let's say it's plus 10. You get like 30 Lordknightmon quest reinforcement value, right? Times 0.5%, so you get 15%. 15%. So at maximum, you get 15% decreased damage for Lordknightmon quest with plus 10 Lordknightmon quest set. I would say this is really worth it when you can get the quest high enough. Okay, that means it needs like really good quest reinforcement value to get his max potential. Other than that, not really. So you want, if you have Lordknightmon X, you're gonna keep focusing on building those Lordknightmon quests and make sure that it's high as possible, so you can get more damage and more tankiness on Lordknightmon X itself. Is it worth it? I think it's worth it, but you need to make sure that you really invest it on the Lordknightmon quest value. Okay, so next we're gonna go to Duftmon X. So Duftmon. Okay, this guy, really cool. Hell yeah, general looking kind of lion, whatever. Okay, elemental win. Okay, win. Okay, 3403. So this is squishy yet really smart kind of guy. Okay, so Brown Nebel. Sorry for the pronunciation. If you can fix me, please let me know in the comment section. Okay. When defending, 10% chance to dodge 100%. So this is a chance as well. 10%. Hello. So we can dodge 100%. Okay. Next, manipulation. For all attacks, 60% chance to increase the damage of the next allied attacker by 40%. So with this, I know it's a bad, right? It's something that inconsistent back again, but when it happens, so most of the time you want to use this with haste, so you get better chance of proccing manipulations, right? This one is good when you try to help the next DPS one to burst down your enemy. So I think it has its own niche. It's all pretty smart. So there was 3, right? It has amplification, so it still works on Noctis Dungeon Heart, mainly because of the huge buff that the consistency can be ignored in a way, because it still can help you like a lot. 4% is like huge because it's damage. It's not increasing your attack, but it increases your damage. So if your burst DPS is really strong, this manipulation will allow him to deal like even more damage, on like 1.4% of the base damage that it can deal, right? This is pretty good. So is it worth it? I think it's kinda, mid, but it's not the worst choice possible that you can get, okay? Next, we're gonna talk about Megidramon X. So Megid, the Flame Dragon Boy. There you go. Looks so dope. Okay, so it's Fire Darkness. Okay, 5-2-2-1. Pretty good strength, I could say. Okay, so Flame Portal, it only has one, right? For all attack, decreases current VP by 30%. Additionally, increase damage by 12% of that value after applying certain attribute. So what does it mean is like if you, so let's say you see these two attributes like fire, wind, strong against wind, right? Darkness, strong against normal and wind. It's like, so if you fight any of the enemy, like say wind or normal, okay, the damage calculated first after applying extra attributes, right? The attribute damage plus your base damage, your card slash, blah blah blah, right? And then it's gonna cut your VP to 30% right away. So you want as much VP as you can get to increase the damage because it's 12% of the value, right? So what's best for him is probably Alpha Crest or Crest of Knowledge if you have it. Because it also increases VP for Megidramon X, and I've seen even with Crest of Knowledge set of those 10, this guy can deal tremendous amount of damage. So I think it's worth it. It's so simple, like double attack amplification, flamethrower, that's it, right? But it's so worth it. So I think Megidramon X worth the value. And it's really cool as well because you want to build Alphamon Crest at some point for your DPS anyway. So it's really worth it in my opinion. So next we're gonna talk about Medieval. Okay. My guy here. I'm not biased, guys, okay? I'm not biased. Alright. So wind attribute, okay. 3-4-1-2. Double Gale, wind protection, okay. So veteran. For all attacks, damage increased by 2% per 10k wins of medieval Dukemon. Stack up until 20%, so 100k wins. I would say if you don't play often with this guy, okay, or if you don't farm wins, it'll be really tricky to make it really powerful, right? So, but it's covered by something else, so it's here, Dynasmon, right? Ball attack increase attack by 2.2 per 1 defense of Dynasmon X. So this is what helps him until you get the veteran stacked up. Okay, so you want Dynasmon X on it. Okay, it increased the attack instead, and it still applies the defense of Dynasmon X you put. So it's really tanky. It's really tanky as DPS. is pretty good multiplication for the attack as well. So let's say if you get Dynasmon, if I remember correctly, Dynasmon plus 1, let me check the stat a bit. I think it gives you more attack than Crest of Knowledge, Crest of Courage plus 10. So bear with me. So Dynasmon plus 1 give you 80 defense, right? 80 defense, and it gives you multiplication of 2.2. So even if it's just 2, it's already 160 attack. So it's more than Crest of Courage plus 10, which is 150 attack. So basically, it gets like better attack with only plus 1 Dynasty Crest set. So that what helps him to get more attack for himself, right? Until this veteran helps you out by accumulating wins. Okay, this is a chore. If you don't like or you don't online that often, you don't think that you want to farm wins, you probably don't want this. But again, the plus side is it also has an avoidance, which is win protection. So that what makes him saved up until you use stack on the veteran or get high enough on the Dynasmon X reinforcement. Okay, what I say it's a win if you grab him. Well, it depends on how you play with him, but if you get him, try to farm as many wins as possible and as high Dynasmon X as possible, so you get the full potential of this default. So I'll say it's worth it, but it depends on you as well. Okay. Next is Sleipmon X, which is horse. Wait. Okay. Sleep. Okay. My holes here. I will not be biased, guys. Okay. Please. All right. So really cool looking. Bias number 1. Okay. So light attribute and ice attribute, which is kind of rare. Okay. 3-4-1-2, the same build as medieval. Double gal, min attack, the same characteristics as well. Coincidence? I don't think so. Okay, so and Harrier, only 1. So if opponent's HP is less than 50% during an attack, damage increased by 2% per 1% of HP lost by the opponent after a 50% margin. Okay. So it's gonna be tricky to explain. So if your if you hit the enemy until it's like 50% HP, right? It already gets 2% damage bonus. At the point of it hits 50%, okay? Below that, 49%, it will stack up by 2%, so 4% damage is extra. What makes him really good is as a finisher on certain like endgame dungeon, that where his values goes up, okay? So most of the time you have like the first attacker like bursting DPS, right? Like Ordin or like Susanoo, right? Magnamon could count as well, I think. Etc. like that, right? So as a it's literally the last hitter for you. Like at some point, bosses have their own specific mechanic when they hit like low HP, right? And this guy can help you to burst it down so you don't get the shenanigans of like hit straight activated blah blah blah. So this one is pretty good in my opinion. But the downside is it has to be like pretty low to see the damage being amazing. So you need a good DPS team that can support you and get the boss HP down as soon as possible and as low as possible for you to burst. Okay. Other than that, he's pretty smart on the line, in my opinion, like the Kudamon lines. With wind protection as well, which makes him pretty good. And that's it. If it's worth it or not, um, if you don't like where you gotta hit last or something, or like in the middle of the turn, like 50% below HP, you probably don't want to do it. If it's worth it or not depends on you, really. Um, the looks doesn't do him justice as well. Sorry, but I mean, design-wise overall is pretty cool. It's just that it's really tricky to use, and most of the time people doesn't like him because he doesn't do damage early on. Uh, so yeah, I think it's in the middle. It's either worth it or not. It depends on your gameplay style. Okay. Next, we're gonna go to JESmon. Jesh. Okay. This is the Gundam. Okay, this guy. All right. Call him Gundam most of the time. So, Fire and Steel. Okay. 3-4-1-2. Still same stats. Okay. Still similar stats like Medieval and Sleipmon X, amplification, mineral wall. Okay, first, tactical arms. During battle, all allied Digimon's damage increased by 10%, but JESmon X only increased by 5%. So I don't know why the game designer decided to do this to him. What's the problem of giving him the same 10%? Please tell me why. Okay. Um. Next is OS generics for all defenses receive 20% less damage. So when you take hits, okay, it will be reduced by 20% less. Okay. Most of the time people use this as a tank support because of these tactical arms. As a DPS, unfortunately, because he only gets a 5% instead of 10%, which is already low, it doesn't do him justice as a DPS. He doesn't deal that impressive damage, unfortunately. But I think if it's like 10%, I could see him being DPS as well. DPS support, to be honest with you. But right now it's more popular as a tank support because of this as well. This helps as well as a tank, right? Because it help reduce like 20% damage. Is it worth it? I think it's kind of worth it because so far the damage buff, the highest is JESmon X. The second one is the Dynasmon, right? Other than that, I think there's nothing else. So I think it's kind of worth it still. And if you need like a support thing, you probably love him if you snag him from the Gennai. Okay, if it's worth it or not, I think so. Okay. Next is Gankoomon. Okay, Gankoomon. Okay. Next, okay. Hello. I almost did lightning, fire, yellow fire. So steel and light. Right? 4-4-1-1, which is pretty cool. And Sound of Anger. For all attack increases damage by 0.6% per 100 of opponent's Digimon's defense. Okay. This, we will never know how much damage it will do. Okay? But that means like the more deeper the dungeons or the harder the dungeon is, the more potential it can deal more damage. Okay, because it increased damage, fortunately, instead of increases attack, right? If it increases attack, I think it's not worth it, but because it increases damage, I think he is pretty decent. If it's worth it or not, I cannot say he's bad, but I cannot say he's like godly good, you know? So I would say he's in the middle. If you snag him, I don't think it's a big loss or a big win, but he's there, so it's kind of where it depends on your preference. Okay, because farming Gankoomon 9 is pretty pretty hard as well, because you have to go to the ladder, right? Okay, so move on. We're gonna go to Minervamon X. Okay, this little girl. I don't know why it turns into little. I know it has this story and such, but wait. Okay, so it's a normal attribute. 3-3-2-2. Okay, double type function guard. Ulula. For all attacks, each turn attack increases damage by 20%. So Minervamon X, just by standing there for any party or your Digimon hits on the third turns, it will gain 20% damage buff. It's pretty tricky to use, right? So if you have a party, make sure that the strongest DPS attack on the third turn, pretty tricky, needs like coordination. But if your party is in sync, then it won't be a big deal. Okay. Next, Serpent. Whoa. Okay. Serpent. Sorry. For all attacks, permanently reduce the selected target defense by 10%. Effects do not stack. Okay. So what? Effects do not stack. It means like if you have any defense reduction party as well, let's say like Flessimon, they don't stack together. So keep that in mind. So when Minervamon X attack, the target that you select. Okay, so if it has like 5 enemy, if she only hits one, that only that one target get the reduced defense, right? But people might think, what if you use AoE? What if you use Golden Drill? Unfortunately, it still doesn't work like that. So let's say if you target the middle, only the middle will get the defense reduced, not everybody. Even though you use drills, even though you use AoE, it doesn't matter. It still reduce one only. So that's what his downside is. But if you fight in a dungeon like Darkness Dungeon Heart, which is only one target, or like Spiral, some of them only has one, right? One enemy. So I think it's pretty okay. But other than that, it's pretty niche, right? But this overlap kinda helps her to be a pretty decent support. Other than that, not really. So is it worth it? I would say not really, to be honest with you. Again, this is my perspective. Do not take it for granted. Okay. So next, we're gonna go to Chaosdramon. I like this guy. It's pretty cool. Okay, hello. Dinosaurzoid. Okay. Element, still kind of self-explanatory. Okay, 4, 2, 3, 1. Pretty tanky and kind of okay. Double attack application and only has one. Red Digizoid. For all attacks, increases damage with a 100% chance in proportion to your HP. So increase by 5% per 20% of lost HP. So okay, so if you do like Fury traits, you know, the additional trait, Strike of Fury, that synergizes really good with this Chaosdramon X. So you probably want to put like Fury there. And you put only Fury, and you use like double data explosion in 2 turns. Let's say you use haste, right? I don't know if 1 HP still counts because the lowest you can get is 1 HP, right? If it counts, then let's say 20%, so maximum you get around 25% bonus damage with amplification, which increase like, I think it's 25%, it doesn't show here, but I think it's increased 25% as well. So I could see him being a good burst Digimon, but really risky one. So please keep that in mind. If you don't use absorption, it might not be able to hit like 25%. So maximum you probably get like 20%, right? And it stacks there. I mean, it stops there, right? Is it worth it? Well, it kind of is, in my opinion. Right? I don't want to make the owner feel bad, but but again, I think it's pretty decent. But it's up to you guys. What do you guys think, right? Okay, next we're gonna go to Daemon X. Daemon. Haha. Wait. Haha. Okay, so this guy. Okay, I don't want to say he looks like gorilla. Sorry, guys. Okay, so let's continue. So the same attribute as Megidramon X, Fire and Darkness. 5311, which is pretty good build. So first, uncontrollable. For all attacks, the attack target cannot activate all defensive characteristics. Apply both normal and exclusive trait. This is pretty okay, because that means like there's no damage reduction that can stop him except for the purple trait in some dungeons, right? I think it's pretty okay and decent in certain situations for any enemies that have like damage reduction traits, right? Really good. So that means like you can always deal full damage without considering their defensive traits, right? You don't need to barb with it, which is pretty cool. Demon of Flame for all attacks increases damage by 10%, number of attack to itself, stack ups to times 5, which is 50%. This is really good in the long run, right? But again, long run is not that often. But that also means that you can also use him as Fury with haste. So the damage stack up, right? First, you get damage from Fury by reducing your HP. With haste, you also increase the stacks for this guy. So in 2 turns, you can potentially get 40% damage. This is really huge, in my opinion. So again, this guy is pretty cool. If you get him, I think it's worth it. It just needs like a bit of a tweak in your gameplay to make him hit his full potential. So other than that, I think he's worth it. Okay. Next, we're gonna go to Lillithmon X. Hello. Okay, Lilith. This girl. Okay. This is the girl, the butterfly girl. Okay, element, darkness. Okay, 3322. I think it's the same as Minervamon X, right? Okay, first, temptation. When defending with a 50% chance, the enemy target except the attacker will be attacked instead. If the enemy is alone, the attacker will be attacked. What does that mean? So if enemy targets Lillithmon X, right? If it attacks Lillithmon X, when temptation pro, okay, the damage will be reflected to other Digimon in their slot, or if it's only the boss, then it will be reflected back to the boss. Okay, if that makes sense. So it's really good. If you have Lillithmon, it has loss, which is the same thing as this temptation with higher chance. I think loss is 40%, temptation is 50% now. It's just really popular until now actually, and really good still if you're fighting like a hard boss, right? But the downside is it doesn't have evasion, so it has like this damage reduction instead, which is all of it. But it doesn't hold her back. I think she's still really amazing in that case, right? Okay, next is Breath of Darkness. For all attack increases damage dealt by itself, and allied Digimon to data attribute enemies by 5% to 15%. What does this mean? So if your target enemy is data attribute, okay, it increases her damage and her allies damage randomly from 5% to 15%. It's not that amazing to be honest, but it still helps. Does it work with conversion? It is. Okay, so you can always like bring virus Digimon with that killer or whatever, right? And attack the day any bosses as long as you use like the data conversion and get this bull. So it's a tank support kind of thing. Is it worth it? Well, I could say it's worth it. But as Lillithmon itself, she's already doing amazing. With Lillithmon X, she's more than amazing. Okay, so it's up to you if you need her, but if you snack her, it's not a bad option at all, in my opinion. So next, we're gonna go to Barbamon X. This old man. God damn it, old man. Okay, so this old man getting a bit older, I guess. Okay, so darkness attribute. Okay, 3, 4, 1, 2. Double attack only. There's no guild. There's no melee, whatever it is. Okay. There's no amplification. So first, Treasure. Okay. For all attacks, damage is increased by 0.7% per 100 of your equipment points. So if you see here, if you see on your timer, you're gonna see the timer equipment points, right? And then you increase 0.7% per 100 of the multiplication. So that means like the better your gear is, the stronger this guy will be. Okay. Next is Death Law. For all attacks, damage is increased by 1% for each remaining number of card slashes. So I think it works best for your first attack. So because you have like more cards, right? Or you can also use the Darkness Spirit that increase your card size. I forgot which one, H or B, but I'll show you later. Okay. And then Materialistic. During battle, 45% chance to reduce card circumcision to 0. What does that mean? That will help you to not reduce your card slash by 45% chance when it's attacking. So it saves your cards less. Pretty amazing old man, you know? I've seen him, doing really good damage. Okay, on the right person though, okay? On the right person that have like super hyper gear or whatever, right? With double attack, I think that's fair. They probably test the damage with other additional will make him really broken. But other than that, he's really amazing. And yeah, I think he's worth your money. Okay, next is we are going to the three resonance synergy. Okay, so we got Alphamon Ouryuken. Okay, his elemental is light. Okay, 5311, which is pretty decent. So attack potion. Okay, Alpha involves for all attacks 30% chance to automatically attack the same target with the same skill. So it's literally it can attack twice in the same turn without using haste. So uh, it's tricky, but I think it's also good, right? Because it only has 30% chance. So if you deal good damage already without him proccing this Overlord Pulse, okay, that means you can double your damage at the same turn with twice amount of the card slashes you use though, with decent damage. So let's say if you deal like 6k damage only, let's say, right? 6k damage. With this proc, you can deal 12k damage on the same turn. So I think it's amazing in a way, but it probably needs you to have a really decent gear to see the much of a difference. But he's pretty decent. Is he worth it or not? You still can get him manually, but it's 80 Alphamon cards and 80 rookie net for Ryu. For the pity though. But I think it's decent. It's just that he's not that simple to use, or he's not that he's not that worthy of your money in my opinion. Sorry, Alphamon fans. I'm an Alphamon fan myself, but it's still pretty decent. If you snack him, whatever, man. You get pretty good one. It's not the worst, so do not worry about that. If you like him, he'll be pretty worth it. Okay. Next, we are going to Omegamon. Okay, Megamon X. This guy. Okay. Light Ice, same as Sleipmon X. 4312. It's okay. Elasticity. Okay. First, Omega Enforce. When defending, 15% chance to dodge 100%. So it's like Duftmon X, but 5% more chance in increase. Okay. I mean 5% more chance to dodge. Okay. So the chances are different by 5% only. Okay. Next is All the Light. For all attacks, 5% chance to be All the Light. However, damage against each level or higher enemies is increased by 700%. So what does that mean? So L level below will instantly kill when this All the Light procs. But if it's H ring and above, so H and LH, it only gives you like 700% damage. In multiplication, it's good or better than most of the card slashes, right? I think it's among all, it even includes triple fang. But the problem is his damage is lacking. Unfortunately, okay. I've tried him, but that could only be that my gear sucks. Okay, that could be one of the reason, but to be honest, I think the worst part is not the multiplication, but the change to proc. It's only 5%, guys. With Belial Molometer's one, it buffed to 15%, but it's still not enough. Digimon RPG, if you're here, please buff him. Yeah, for me, I'm selfish, but please buff this guy, okay? He deserves it. Alright. If you snack him, is he worth it? For collection, it's worth it. For usage, unfortunately, it might have lower value than Alphamon Ouryuken. That's all I can say. Okay, I'm not biased, guys. All right, gonna go to the next. Okay, next is Dukemon X. Dukemon X. Hello. Okay, it's the guy. Pretty cool in design. Can't lie. Okay, so this one is like attribute 3412. same as Medievaldukemon. Amplification, double attack, okay, and Holy Shield Agate. For all attack, 30% chance to decrease damage by 50%. The next enemy turns attack hits an ally. Like what the okay. 30% chance to decrease damage. First of all, you need to prop this guy, okay? 30%. Say that you hit it, okay? The damage decreases by 50%. When the next enemy's turns attack hits an ally. So it procs this, and then it works on the next turn. What a waste of time. Please rebalance this guy as well. It's really cool. Give him a better justification, you know? Give him something good. If it's defensive, make him really good in defense. If it's offensive, please make him good on offensive. Unfortunately, yes, he's not worth it. Okay? Unfortunate. Okay, next is we are down to the last two. Examon X. Okay. This Doragon. Hey, really cutie. Hello. Okay. Okay. I guess this one's better. Okay. Electric or thunder, which is pretty rare, right? 4411 amplification with wind protection. Already looking good. Okay, ultimate dragon spear. For all attacks increases damage with 0.5% per level of the opponent's Digimon. So more Digimon. No, I mean, my bad. So let's say from what I remember, like what's it called? Like Lordknightmon X on the royal base around 130, right? 130. So 0.1% per level means it increased by 13%. Kinda sad, not gonna lie to you. But that means like it scales up when you hit better enemy like in-game dungeon, right? It's probably have like 200 level, 300 level, so it can stacks up there. So I guess it's decent for end-game content. Okay, guys. Next, Draconic Plasma. For all attack, there's a 30% chance to increase damage by 10% until 20%. Look, game designer. Make it 100%. If it's already a bad, make it 100%. Okay? If not, higher up the scale. Starts from 20% till 25% or whatever, okay? Don't let this guy down. Please. Increase the chances at least. If it's not 100%, come on, 75%? 50%? Make him good. Do not make him rely on the enemy's level. Because the higher the enemy level is, probably has higher defense. It will still reduce it anyway. Please. Okay? I know it has amplification, I know it has wind protection. His stats doesn't do him justice to make it 5-3 or something. You know? He could be better. But is he good enough? I think so. It's just that he really relies on this, right? The damage per level. So let's say at the same enemy, 130 level, right? You get 13% here. If you pro, at least 23% until 32%. Yes, it does sound good. But you have to bet on 30% chance on every attack. That's the problem, right? Is it worth it? In my opinion, not really. Due to how hard you're gonna evolve him as well. You need Examon, so you're gonna bet on him. Right? But unfortunately, I don't think he's that worth it. But he's also one of the exclusive that you cannot get anywhere, so that kind of makes him worth it. You know what I mean? So yeah. It's on the middle, okay, in my opinion. So we're gonna go to the last one, which is Beelzemon X. Okay. Beelzemon X here, okay. That's fine. This guy, pretty cool looking dude. Okay. Same as Megidramon, Darkness Fire. Okay. 5311. Double attack Gale Void. Okay. Evangelio for okay. Evangelio for all attacks 100% change to additional damage equals to 40% of battle rating. From what I remember or from what I heard, this damage is a fixed damage. So it adds on top of your base damage, okay? It has pretty good stat, 5-3, double attack and gale. Heads up. Barrel rating. Okay, so barrel rating increase. Like the lowest barrel rating buff is like 100%. So if you use like, let's say Lordknightmon X, which has like high barrel rating value, this could be really good. Even with Crest of Courage, I've seen people deal like insane amount of damage casually, What's good about it as well, if you have high battle rating, you deal more damage and more consistent hit, which makes him pretty good, despite of only one exclusive trait. So, I don't know, game designer is really biased in my opinion, not me, but he's really worth it. He's one of the two that's really limited now. Beelzemon X and Examon X was in the Mama coin, so now that they are gone and back in Gennai as well, they both are really worth to snag for your money, in my opinion. Despite Examon has something to improve or some room of improvement. Okay, I think that's it, guys. Hopefully it helps and make it. Hopefully if you snag a Gennai box, hopefully you get a really good one, or at least decent one. Please dodge the bullet of something that is not decent enough or not something that you need or deal whatever, right? That's it for today. Hope this helped, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe.